Good evening, St. Louis, and welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Christopher Madison, and we are back for Season 2. Season 2 of the St. Louis Experience existence is starting right here, right now, against the Oklahoma City Thunder and Oklahoma. Now, it's been a while since we talked, and a lot of things have went down with our team. Me and you haven't got the chance to sit down and talk about this offseason, so we got to do that before we get into this first game of the season. Now, if I were to grade what our GM has done so far in this year, I think I would give this guy an A+. A lot of things have happened with this team, and they have all, from my eyes, just seemed like the right thing. So let's start off around the halfway point of the first season. We made a huge trade to pick up Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns. Just giving away two pieces that were okay, but really weren't long-term pieces. I think we got like our player of the future in Devin Booker. Like, to me, he's a nice little, I think for me, he looks like Klay Thompson. Now, he's only 20 years old right now, so he's got a long way to come. But this St. Louis Spirits team is young, and we got some young pieces. Over the years, I do see him being like an all-star level player. So we make that trade about the trade deadline. And then we get into the offseason. The offseason is where things really went down. We traded the 4th overall pick in Alexis Agensa for Jamal Murray. And I don't know how that trade happened. Everybody in the league, at least all the GMs, all the experts, are saying that Jamal Murray has the potential to be a superstar. I think everybody in the league knew that, except for the 76ers, who traded him to us for 4th overall pick in Alexis Agensa. So A+ trade from us. And then we get into the free agency. Like I said, this free agency market wasn't the best. Like, there wasn't a lot of big names. There were no big names, to be honest. The best player on the list was, well, Rudy Gobert. And who did we sign? Rudy Gobert. So things haven't really fallen into line for us. Big moves. I'm not saying that we're going to be a playoff team this year. Like, I think we're far from that. But I think at least the fans could be interested in this young team. We got some high flyers. We got some good shooters. We got some defense. Finally, the man in the middle with Rudy Gobert. I think fans are going to have a lot of fun this season. But I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. But these young players are going to be put to the test right here, right now, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder team, as we all know, have been contenders for about 5 or 6 years now. Still haven't got over that hump. Maybe this is this year. But they did pick up DeAndre Jordan via trade. They now have Jody Meeks in the starting rotation. And Cameron Payne has come out as a real legitimate 6th man. So they got a lot of pieces in our young backcourt when it comes to Jamal Murray and Devin Booker have their handful. At the small forward position, we have Jordan Adams. And I think we're going to see in this game that Jordan Adams at 6'5" was really no match for Kevin Durant defensively. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Power forward position, we still have Larry Nance Jr. I wasn't sure about Larry Nance Jr. going into the season, but so far in this first game, he proved to me that he should be our starting power forward. And then at center, of course, the man in the middle, the Stifle Tower, Rudy Gobert. So Kevin Durant did have his way. I mean, there's not many players in the league that can actually stop him, right? But him being, 6'10", 6'11", was no help. I mean, Jordan Adams is a solid defender. 6'5", just couldn't match up with that length. He got put in the post a bunch of times. And then we take a look at our bench. We don't have many defenders that can stop KD. So that's going to be a problem later on down the line when we go against those top players like KD, LeBron James. Players like that, it's probably going to be a struggle. But right now, it's not going too bad. You see, we're actually in this game late in the third quarter. Jamal Murray has been playing like a madman. And we'll see more of that here. One thing I really loved about the season opener is that our backup center, Bebe, really played his heart out. Like last season, he didn't get many minutes because we had so many players in our front court. Bebe was probably like 12th or 13th man in the rotation, but now he's our 8th man in the rotation. And for backup center, he played really, really well. I think he ended with about 4 steals, 2 blocks, and he's not really known to be an offensive threat, but defensively and getting the rebounds, things like that, he did his thing. So that's one thing I was excited about. Another thing, as I said, Jamal Murray was unstoppable this game. No matter who they threw out. Russell Westbrook, I give him credit to be a really solid defender, but even Russell Westbrook couldn't stop this guy. I think Jamal Murray is trying to prove to the league that he deserved Rookie of the Year last year and that he probably was worth more than what the 76ers traded him for. So that's good for us at least. We're going to have to see this guy progress to be something special. I would love to see him locked up long term. Again, He's still really young. Anything can happen. But the way he played in his first game and what he played in the Summer League, I'm excited to see what he can be. So we talked about Jamal Murray. I want to talk about Devin Booker. Like, I've seen glimpses of Devin Booker where he just seems like he's the best player on the court. And that means a lot when we're talking about going against big players like Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. But he had times, even defensively, where he was just really solid. And I really am excited to see what he can come into. I'm hoping that he sees St. Louis as a home. I mean, he's been here for half a season. Now he has a little bit of help with the scoring load. I'm hoping that he'll sign a long-term deal, because right now I think he has a team option after this year. But after that, he could walk. And we really need to convince this guy that this is a place to stay, and hopefully we can do that. So we're late in the game here. 3-point game. Jamal Murray gets Russell Westbrook off of his stomach, off that curl screen, and that's a big bucket. So time is winding down by 3. Jamal Murray, who has been on fire all game, knocks Russell over for an open 3, and that's going to tie the game with less than a minute to go. So we're excited. We need to get a stop. 10 seconds left. Russell at the top of the key. He gives it up to who else but Kevin Durant off a curl screen, and he knocks it down. 5 seconds left. It doesn't look good for our spirits at this point, but you know what? 5 seconds is a lot of time. Anything can happen in 5 seconds. So we get up to Jamal Murray, who, like I said, has been on fire, goes right at the basket, finishes, and we are going to overtime. Now, this Oklahoma City team is a really, really solid team. I mean, they were in the Western Conference Finals last year, and the team with one of the worst records is hanging with them in the season opener. So I'm excited, really, really excited to watch this game right there. Devin Booker with a big dunk. So up by 4 in overtime. It's looking good for us. Right here, Russell's going to get an impossible shot. We've seen Russell do things like that all the time, and we can't really complain about it. So tie game with about a minute and a half to go. Devin Booker getting guarded by Jody Meeks. Jody Meeks was not any competition. Getting beat off the dribble, getting pulled up in his face. Like, he really could not stop Devin Booker, and we took advantage of that as much as possible. Right there, Jordan Adams, who's kind of been silent all game with the big and one. Unfortunate for us, Jordan Adams is not the best free throw shooter. He misses it, and then Serge on the other end knocks down a big, big shot. So 17 seconds left. We get the last possession, and this was poorly drawn up. Pick and roll tries to come to Rudy, but good defense by Russell, forcing Jamal Murray to put that shot up, and we're going to a second overtime. This is going to be like a season opener classic. I mean, the St. Louis Spirits were new to this organization, so this is probably the most exciting game we've had throughout our entire season, and plus this one. So right there, missed by Devin Booker, but he gets his own board over DeAndre Jordan, who's no doubt one of the best rebounders in the game. No big deal for Devin Booker, though. Heart beats all. And this is an example of why Jordan Adams really wasn't much for Kevin Durant. He used that size, put him in the post, faced up, and got right past him. But Jamal Murray with that big on-ball steal. 2 minutes left. We're going to give it up to our high flyer, Larry Nance Jr., looking like his father out there with the dunk. So it's not even over. Up by 2. Jamal Murray, again, doing what we need him to do pretty much all season if we want our team to contend. Again, I don't think we are, but him putting up numbers like this is ridiculous. And that's all she wrote, folks. It's the St. Louis Spirits in the second season opener with a W. Led by the young guy Jamal Murray and Devin Booker. Together they put up over 50 points, over 30 assists. It was just an all-around fight for our team. And if we can play like that a couple times a year, I'm sure our fans will be happy. So we did finish that game. Kevin Durant put up 40-plus points, but it was not enough. Of course, Russell Westbrook also put up like 30. But we take a look at our side of the ball. The boys did their thing. Jamal Murray almost beating the assists per game or assist record for one single game. We got a victory, and that's all that really matters. I'm out.